Oh man, that looks friggin' dope. That's the original from 1978 and the 2018 version standing right behind him. Lord have mercy on our souls. Welcome to my review on the quarter scale Neca Michael Myers figure from the Halloween 2018 film. And this review is happening as soon as it is, all thanks to Mr. Jon Hensley in the USA, because here in the UK we have to wait a little bit longer to get these Neca figures. But this particular one I just couldn't wait. Been really anticipating this one, really looking forward to it. And wondering what I'd be able to do to it customization wise, just a little repaint on the mask, weather him up a little bit, decide whether I want to keep the stock hair or remove it and add like real hair, which I think would be interesting. But for now, I'm just going to review the stock figure. Nothing has been done to him, it's completely stock, just the way you're going to get him. So I'm going to go in depth now. We'll do some cool height comparisons because there's a few other, I mean, they may be custom, that's a completely custom figure there, but he is quarter scale. This is the Neca Rob Zombie Michael Myers. I did add real hair to him, so that's the only thing that's been changed there. Actually, I did repaint the whole head as well, so but we'll do a height comparison with him, and we'll do a height comparison with the 78 Neca figure. The only thing I really did to that was just completely change the hair, which I need to do again. That was one of my first attempts at doing that, and it's okay, but I can definitely do better than that now. It needs to be a more accurate shape, get it? And yeah, there's lots of Myers stuff here, folks. If you're new, there's plenty to watch on the channel. Every one of these figures already has its own video, multiple videos to be honest, so you go ahead and you check that out. But now let us review the big guy, James Jude Courtney. That's a sick piece right there. You want to see the eyes? You want to see them? There they are. It's crazy. Look at that. Go ahead and set you down. You're never gonna tame that beast. Alright. And some other stuff. Custom figures, forget about it. One of a kind. Definitely one of a kind. You'll never see another one like that. It's the only one on the damn planet. Yep, other people got these coveralls, but they'll never have this head. Not the way it looks here. Too much has been done, too many different people involved. It's completely unique. It's badass. Forget about it. Anyway, yes, here we are. The big guy. Alright, the unboxing was shot during the day, and I took the figure out into the back garden for a bit of true light action so you could see it in just all its glory in the sunlight. And now, because he's Michael Myers, you want to see him at night in the dark. So that's what we're doing. We're going to get nice and moody, and I'm just going to review this thing for you. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that this is a must buy. You know, it obviously clearly is. Look at it. It's fantastic. And they're so affordable, you know. I mean, it's going to be, I think it's $130, but you know, it's worth it. It really is. Fully posable, great accurate sculpt on the mask. Eye holes are just the right shape, which is important because I do have quite a few 1/6 scale or whatever scale Michael Myers from 2018, and getting the eye holes the right shape and the right size seems to be a bit of a tricky one for folks. But this, they got it right. Exactly right. Knife looks good. Looks really good quality. But I'm looking forward to seeing the height comparisons, especially between this guy and the big Freddy up there, because I have a feeling Freddy's going to be taller than he should be next to this guy. But either way, just a quick word about the film, the source material. I do really like the movie. I understand a lot of people are peed off because obviously it completely scraps, you know, Halloween 2, which is a lot of people's one of their favorites. I better save my Halloween to. I've said this in the live stream, or I think I said it in a previous video, where I was going to start talking about my feelings about the film Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. But I think I better save that until I get the Ultimate Halloween 2 figure, and then I'll talk about how I feel about that movie. But that'll be an interesting one for you. But the whole thing about the last movie before this one being the original 1978 classic, and then it jumps straight to this one. I didn't mind that because I haven't seen all the Halloween movies. Still to this day, I've only seen Halloween 1, 2, um, H2O, the Rob Zombie movies, and then this one. So there's still quite a few I've never watched. So something about the way they look, just kind of, in particular, the mask. The mask has to look right for me, and I really do like the way it looked in 2018. And obviously, the original is something to just, be very wary of. It's just so creepy. That's a Nag Nightmare 1978 custom mask over there with the Big Mac coveralls. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just looks like he's just standing over there. One of these days he's gonna just move, and we're all gonna die. Anyway, let's get a nice close-up look at the head. So we got some great detail on this. You see all the scratches. The way the shadows are falling, I think it's mostly because this light is coming from slightly behind him, hitting on his shoulders here. So you're not really seeing that eye inside the mask. You're just catching the blind one. And it's really creepy looking. It's wet looking as well, the blind eye. You can see that it's glistening in the light. But yeah, man, I like the hair. But definitely need to repaint the lip area and the nose and quite a few spots really. It's quite subtle what needs to be done, but I do have a good point of reference. That is the life-size bust that was reworked by Mike in Germany. And oh, hello Mr. Joker, looking awesome. Anyway, let's get the old side profile happening here. Alright, let's just a little bit askew because we've just caught that eye there. Turn down the brightness so that you see it. That looks really creepy. I do think the actual sculpt is just dead on perfect though. You know, I mean, some of the black wash or however it was they achieved this kind of darker scrapes and stuff. I mean, some of that's a little bit heavy-handed in areas like here. Someone mentioned in the unboxing, I agree with that. That should be pretty easy to fix with a little bit of a, little bit of paint. Let's see what I can do. That looks really cool though. Looking forward to doing a photo session with him. Oh, and there's the hole in the neck, and that's actually got a little bit of red blood in there as well. You can see there. But yeah, very, very happy with this. It's you don't need me to tell you, folks. You don't need anyone to tell you. You can see this for yourself, and you can think, yep, that looks awesome. And go ahead and add that to my collection. I mean, I couldn't wait for this. I mean, look how gory that hand is. All the tendons and all that. There's just pure grimness. Look at that. How shiny and nasty it is. All I'm going to do really is just weather around his fingernails and maybe these knuckle areas and just in between the fingers and just little bits of, like mud effect and maybe a bit more nasty blood action going on. But I don't want to get too graphic in the description, but you'll see when it's done. There's the bullet hole. I might bloody that bullet hole up a little bit. Let's have a look at the back. I've never actually seen... Is there a bullet hole here? There should be, shouldn't there? Where's the bullet hole? Because he got shot from behind. And there's the exit wound. But where is the entry point? Interesting. Okay. And there's his pockets. The flap. Oh, and the shadow. Nice, really good. Check out the blood effect on the knife. Yeah. It's better than it used to be. I remember old Neca figures, or maybe I'm thinking of McFarlane or Neca, but someone, it used literally just be as if someone took the knife, it was red paint, and just dipped it in and then lifted it out, and it would just be constantly red, and just, like that bit would be silver and the rest of it just be red. But now we've actually got this awesome effect here, and that is just the way I likes it. That looks really cool. And I've got to say, his hands come on and off nice and easy. They don't fall off or anything. They're on there once they're on there, but they weren't hard to change out. So that's always a relief. Oh, and the head comes off nice and easy. So that is really cool that you can remove the head, because now repainting this is going to be a lot easier to do. And it means that just for fun, We might have to go ahead and take the 1978 Neca head sculpt over there, the big guy. Might have to go ahead and pull that off, which I have done previously. That sounds slightly wrong, but anyway, we can try the 1978 head sculpt on this. Let's do that. All right, now, I don't mean to get your hopes up, but there is a slight situation here in that the 78 sculpt has this kind of big ball joint built into the sculpt itself. It's not removable, and that's not going to go on this. However, this does seem to be removable. Well, maybe not. I'm not going to pull that out, guys. I'm sorry. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. Damn it, because that would have been sweet. I thought he was about to fall over. But yeah, that would have been very cool. I mean, you can see if I hold it in this position, at least you can get an idea of how that might look. I think that's pretty damn cool. It's a damn shame. But those of you out there, that wouldn't be hard to do. If you really wanted to do that, you could just pull this out. I mean, maybe if I just heat it up, and I'm just worried in case I can't put it back again, because I've only just got this thing, man. I've got big plans for this figure. I'm going to get a second one, hopefully. So maybe later, maybe someone will beat me to the punch, but at least I showed you first. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. God damn it, it's a shame, man. It's a damn shame. But anyway, I think that would look awesome. It's in proportion. I would say let's just try the 2018 head on that one just for fun, but I don't really see the point. But I'll do it anyway, because I'm good to you like that. Alright. Go ahead. Put that on there. Oh. And there he is. So that's the 2018 Neca head sculpt on the 1978 version of the Michael Myers figure by Neca. Both companies, same company. Awesome stuff. Yes. So you can take that off very easily. I mean, you can see there's no big ball joint situation going on. It's literally just a hole, and then you go ahead and you push. Where is it? Come here, though. Don't do this to me. Don't make me look so stupid on camera. Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, got it. I got it. Yeah, there it is. It's back on again. And I'm gonna need two hands for that. We'll do a height comparison. Okay, they look amazing together. There's your money shot right there, folks. Pause it and just soak it up. Look at that. 1978 and 2018. There's a long time between these two figures. There really is. I don't remember the year off my head right now. Off the top of my head right now. The year this came out, but wow. Just seeing them together, and they're the exact same height. Pretty much. I mean, bearing in mind I did completely resculpt the hair on this, completely remove the original hair. I think I did add a bit more volume to the hair, so that might be factoring in here as well. But they do seem to be basically the exact same height. So let me just hit that from a few different angles. That looks sick. Oh my goodness. Share it around, folks. Let people see this. Go ahead and hit that like button. Devastate it with your fingers. Just help the video get out there, help it get seen, help people see this, but then experience what you're experiencing right now. Oh my goodness, I could film that all night. Just that's all good. And the way the light is hitting the 78 mask, particularly from this angle right here, a little bit of shine. That's crazy. Both holding the kitchen knives. Oh man. Alright, so just wanted to get them side by side so you could really see the height there. The 2018 version's shoulders do seem to be a bit higher up, and yeah, but basically more or less the same. I mean, James Jude Courtney was taller than the majority of folks who played Michael Myers in the original movie. I mean, I'm mainly thinking about Nick Castle here, but definitely is the case that James Jude Courtney is a bigger lad. That's how they look together. Let me go grab Freddy and some of the other quarter scale Neca figures. We'll see how they stack up against Mr. 2018 here. And now next to the Rob Zombie version of Michael Myers, played by Tyler Mane. This figure is from the 2007 Halloween remake. And boo hiss, some of you might be saying, but it was actually this version of Mikey right here from 2007 that got me into the character in the first place. So deal with it. I mean, he was always in my line of sight. I always knew about Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Myers, but it was the 2007 Rob Zombie movie that kind of really piqued my interest, and I started to really want to own a figure of him. That's how I discovered one's customs and all that stuff, but I managed to get this quarter scale here by Neca, and I did remove the hair because it was a big chunk of plastic hair, nowhere near as detailed as the one on this new one, but it was pretty unsightly, so I ripped it off. It's easy to do because it's just a separate piece. And then I put real hair, not real human hair, but it's actually hair from a werewolf mask, a full head, Halloween werewolf mask, and I just used that hair to do this. And it might not be the worst thing to use if I do rehair one of these, because it does work quite well. But anyway, there he is for a height comparison. I think he looks awesome though, man. I mean, that's the version of Michael Myers I would least want coming after me, the Tyler Mane version. I mean, this guy was mean, but nah, this one. If I had to choose the one I'd least want after me, it'd be him. Absolutely. It's just brutal, and it looks terrifying as well. It really does. And he's so big. He's like 6'8" or something. Tyler Mane. So there you go. Let's get Freddy. Alright, and here is Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. My favourite look for Freddy, and it's an absolutely amazing figure by Neca. It's incredible. Go back and check out my original review on this piece, man. I busted out some sweet poses, and it's just a great piece. But there he is. He is with the hat on, even slightly taller than Michael Myers here, which shouldn't be the case. Robert Englund, not as tall as James G. Courtney, that's for damn sure. But there you go. What are you going to do? I mean, I don't think Neca make them thinking, okay, we're going to make them an accurate height for quarter scale. It's more like, let's just make every one of these cool figures in quarter scale, big versions. And, when it comes to accuracy of actors' heights, that's not really a factor. I think, so it's forgivable and totally cool with me. But that's how they look standing side by side. I think they look damn cool. Freddy is an awesome piece. And now, so is Myers. Oh, and I kind of changed my mind about the quarter scale Pennywise. I wasn't going to get it because I wanted a more aggressive look for a head sculpt, and they only gave you one head in the end. And that was very disappointing. But it does look awesome. Been watching those reviews pumping out from the guys over in the States, and I might have to try and get me a Pennywise in the very near future. And I will get that Halloween 2 Ultimate figure soon as well, hopefully. It's just, there's a lot out, man. Neca do a lot of stuff, and it's hard to keep up. But at least it's more affordable than those, just the crazy prices on the Hot Toys stuff. And they don't really make horror figures, so I'm going more with Neca these days, and any company that sort of, gives us what we want from the horror world. Because they're icons, man, of film. They last forever. I mean, someone like Michael Myers is always going to last forever because he doesn't have a face. I mean, Freddy has a face, but it's all mangled and burnt, so it's a strong look. As gross as it is, it's hard to forget that, and it is iconic with the sweater and the hat and the glove. I mean, come on, it's an amazing creation. But because Michael Myers has that mystique and the mystery to him, he'll last forever as long as they keep that intact. It's a powerful thing, mystique, and just wondering why. It's a little nitpick, but it doesn't really matter too much because he'll be holding it. If you're going to be seeing this knife, unless you're just having it on display beside him, it would be nice to have the accurate silver, the actual blade continuing through the handle. I think you'd have to try and paint that silver yourself, these two little holes here on either side, but if he's going to be holding it, you're not going to see them. So it would have been nice to have that, and I don't know whether I'd bother. I probably will fix that at some point. It's easy enough to do. I actually do have some kind of silvery paint like this, but that's just a little thing to note if you're into super accuracy. Alright, busting out some poses. Got him with the old classic, the old reach and stab. And having a little snack break. Got to be honest with you. I was feeling a bit peckish, so I went for Walker's Smoky Bacon. I've had one fudge, and I may or may not, or may have another. 2 fudges consumed. Their wrappers strewn on the table, discarded. Alright, back to this killer pose. And looks good, man. The elbow's a little bit unsightly, but what are you going to do? They gave you, a nice kind of, I think it's a double bend. Do you know what? I think maybe, I don't know, I don't want to push it too much. It might be a slight less of a bend in the elbow compared to the 7-inch version. I don't want to push it much more than that. It seems to be, I know there's two sort of parts here where it can move. It can move here and here. So maybe I just need to do it with a little bit more conviction. But I mean, that's bent enough for me, he says. So there you go. Sometimes he doesn't like to stand up too much. His feet aren't very big. He's got kind of, not small feet, but he does, you have to be careful making sure that he's well balanced. But that looks awesome with the lighting and the pose. And that just, the angle. Looks all kinds of good. You gotta love Neca. Seriously, man. I wish I lived in America, because I'd just, seriously, that's where I'd want to be, I'd like, do you know what? I want to try and work for that company. But I'm over here in England, so, I'd love to do promotional work for them. I did get in touch, and they said that they like my photography and all this stuff, but they can't send stuff to the UK, so I was like, God damn it. I was like, how about if I pay for shipping? And they said, no, we still can't do it. I was like, what? Anyway, I'd love to work for that company. I used to want to work for Hot Toys, but not anymore. Now I want to work for these guys. Because they make the stuff that I want. And they make it good. And they make it affordable. Just goddamn awesome. I mean, that's going to look good on your shelf. Just classic Michael Myers right there. I mean, he's going to look good standing there holding the hammer. And I love the fact that they gave you a hammer holding hand, and it's the accurate left hand, because in that scene when he picks up the hammer and walks into that woman's kitchen, he's holding the hammer in his left hand. So that's what they've done here. So extra points for that, because I was thinking of that before they ever even released this. I was thinking, I wonder will they give you the accurate hand for when that scene happens in the film, but they really did. So awesome stuff. Alright, now there's that famous promotional, I think it was Fangora front cover, and it was kind of like this, and it looks a lot like it. I mean, that's how accurate the head sculpt is. That does remind me a lot of that image. I think it was Fangoria. Yeah, that is cool. It's another cool pose option for you. I think it looks really creepy like that. That would look awesome on a shelf. I'm sure one or two of you are thinking to yourselves right now, yep, that's my pose. That's what I'm going to do when I get mine. Remember where you saw it first. Look at that. Psh. Any angle. It looks good. Any angle. Forget about it. Even above. Put them down low. Put them on a high shelf. See them like that. I mean, to me, it always seems to be the case that these Neca quarter scale figures always look a little bit cooler when you're looking at them from, you're low and they're high up. It just seems to, it really did work with the Rob Zombie Myers and the 78. I just think they look better viewed from below. And I think this seems to be the same thing here. Okay, now this looks really creepy. I wanted it to look like he was kind of just looking down at the floor because he's done something with the hammer. And it just looks really cool. Again, looks awesome from below. But I got the head tilted and about as far down as I can get it to go when he's kind of facing slightly off to the side there. But that looks really cool. Now look at that. That just looks amazing. That looks absolutely awesome. Sorry, I know I'm just saying amazing and awesome and incredible all the time, but that's how I feel. Just showing it to you, letting you see any little posters I can come up with, and just, I mean, there's not much to scrutinize here. It has been done very well. The accuracy is quite high on this, especially in the mask. The hair looks good, the mask looks great, the eyes look good inside the mask, the coveralls are done really well, good posability, amazing job on the hands, great job on the boots. Still need to look into the whole grey tread bit here. I mean, at night like this they look fine, but in the harsh light of day during the unboxing they look very grey here. But that's such an easy fix, a little bit of matte black paint. But this angle and just this subtle pose right here, because he is looking off to the side, but from this angle right here I just had to film it. It just looked too good not to film. But I mean, if that doesn't sell it to you, I don't know what is. You got to get this if you're a Myers fan. I mean, if you hate the 2018 film, fair enough, but I mean, I think it's a pretty damn good movie. And I think James Dew Courtney did a hell of a job, you know, becoming the Shape. He did it. He really did. And I think they did they did a great job, man. I don't know. I haven't seen all of the other Halloween movies, but you know, I think they did a great job, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the next two. But anyway, there is how that looks right now. I'm gonna have to take some pictures of that before I change it. Put them on the gram. Just so you can see from the back. I was just trying to get him to look a bit more natural. When I turned him facing away, it was just kind of, he was leaning off to one side a fair bit. So you gotta work with the legs on this guy a little bit, to especially just to get him to balance safely on a shelf when you're time to just display him and found your pose. Pay particular attention to the balance and the weight distribution. The weight distribution. That's what I'm trying to say. Pay attention to that stuff when you're posing him up and making sure that he's going to stay put, because I wouldn't be surprised if this guy takes a couple of nose dives, swan dives, whatever you want to call it. Well, nose dive on that shelf, swan dive on that shelf. So far, he has not fallen over. That looks incredible. I love the way the light catches that dead eye. Such a great sculpt. Now here I'm thinking of the moment when it's the long tracking shot and he's he's finished with the hammer and he's picked up the kitchen knife and he walks out of the house, and then he stops for a moment before he turns and starts walking. And in the behind the scenes, they show that bit where he walks out of the house onto the street again from this angle, and then he stops for a moment before he turns. And for some reason, when he stops, the posture, the proportions of everything, it just sticks in my mind. And I always try to, if I'm making my custom 1/6 scale figures, putting them together, I'm always checking from this angle to see if it does still look like the James Dew Courtney kind of posture. And the mask, it really is dead on to James Dew Courtney wearing it in that movie, particularly in that tracking shot moment. I mean, the color of the coveralls is pretty damn good as well. It's not too dark a blue. It's kind of got that accurate look where when he walks through the kitchen and you can see it in bright light, it's pretty close. The collar is done very well. It's got a real natural look to, just like it has weight to it. It's kind of falling slightly on one side. Just cool little details like that. I tried to get him to hold the knife in the exact kind of position that he does when he stops in that bit in the street. It would have been cool to get maybe a couple of hands that don't have blood on them before he goes on his killing spree, maybe, if you just wanted to have a completely clean version. And again, it is strange that there's an exit wound here from the bullet, but there isn't an entry wound on the back. There's nothing there that I could find. So that's interesting, but I guess maybe they thought you ain't going to be looking at him from the back. Well, this is interesting, but I don't think his left arm has as much articulation as the right one. I could be wrong about that, but it just doesn't seem to work the same way. I was trying to get him to hold his hand right up to his face so he could be looking at his hand now that the fingers have been blown off. And while I can still get away with doing that depending on how I angle this and take the picture, like that for example will look just fine, but This arm has the proper double bend action going on, like the 2 points of articulation there, whereas I think his left arm doesn't quite have that much articulation. I could be wrong. Someone might, debunk that in a future video, but either way, maybe they wanted to have, because it is quite obvious when the arm is down flat, you can see these joints here. Maybe they thought, well, he's going to be doing most of his action with his right arm, so we'll have the left one be a little bit more seamless. Maybe that's what was going on there, but it definitely does look more seamless than the right one. So just something to let you know about. But that hand is gory as hell. Look at that. Let me hit the brightness. Let me get this light over here. And then you can just see all that shiny, glistening, gory action. That's ridiculous, man. Look at the blood splatter as well around it. Really, really, really good work. Great detail, great paint app, great sculpt, great figure. And we get the severed head here. Stick it on a light. Unfortunately, it doesn't balance on its own. You'd have to kind of find a way to just maybe a bit of blue tack or something at the back there to stop it from falling. But it is a really cool effect. So, I mean, if you just use one of these, then it will balance. But I just don't think this will have quite the same effect. It is quite cool though. It just doesn't seem to affect the eyes very much. Maybe if I get him to lean forward a bit. If I just turn the brightness down. Yeah, it's a shame. If that was a little bit brighter, it would maybe light up the eye sections as well. But from here, it does look pretty cool. I mean, there's all kinds of lights out there that you could use for this. So, really, really gory stuff. Oh man, the teeth. They look really real. And his complexion has a kind of a weird purplish pinkish kind of, I mean, obviously it should because he's in dire straits right now. It's all been removed from the inside, so yeah, it is gross. And yeah, it is what it is. Christopher Nelson's head, scooped of all its artistic genius, because Christopher Nelson, the guy who played this cop, was the guy who made this mask for the film. And that's the end of the review, folks. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a long video, so thank you for sticking with me and watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did in the comments section below. You can remember to like the video if you did enjoy it. That'll help out the video a bit and help it get out there, seen by more people. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. Always nice to hear from you. Let me know if you enjoyed the review, what you enjoyed about it. Are you going to get this figure? What do you think of the figure so far? I mean, seriously, I think it's absolutely amazing. And I look forward to watching other people's reviews on this. Because when it comes to figures I really like, I always check out as many reviews as possible. Just always nice to enjoy that side of the collecting thing as well. Just one of the great things about YouTube, man. It's still a very niche thing that we're doing here, but you know, it's nice to be a part of it, that's for sure. Alright, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notifications on all the videos. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook at DaneKnight333. Lots of photos going up on Instagram every day. Keeping it pretty busy on there. And try to do videos on the daily on YouTube as well. You know how I do it. Bust them out. But now that the review is done, I can get to work on the customization, which I'm really looking forward to. So keep it locked. Subscribe. And you can click the link under the video if you wish. And you can become a Patreon for $1 a month and get your name on the end of the video with the movie credits kind of vibe. And just thank you to all you guys out there who have helped support the channel going full time with this. So it's definitely tricky, but you know, you guys out there have just been incredible, so thank you for watching. And massive, massive, massive thank you to Jon Hensley once again for getting this figure to me as soon as he did. Alright, just a stunning piece. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.